the passion is alive. Previews and reviews, keeping you in the vibe. Player ratings coming in like a tidal wave. Lee Stephen TV, it's your football fave.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Lee Statham TV. Hope everybody's doing well. I promised Lee that I'll do my Premier League prediction show for him. So it's a Thursday morning on the 7th of August 2025, and it's 2:25 a.m. in the morning. But I must be bloody balmy. I must be puddling me, I must be. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. So I'm going to go from 9th to 16th. I call that the safe zone. You're not pushing to get into Europe. You're not in any danger of getting relegated. So I call that the safe zone. I'm not going to call it the non-ambitious zone, but I'm going to call it the safe zone. So, a team who might surprise you, who I've got finishing ninth in league this season, and without further ado, that's Manchester United. They had the worst Premier League campaign in the history of the Premier League when it first started. They finished a measly 15th position with 11 wins from 38 games. For a club of Man United stature, it pains me to say that as well, being a Leeds fan, but with a club being the stature of Man United, they should be nowhere near 15th in the league. But that's where they finished, and they always say that the table doesn't lie when it could end its season. So, but I have got them finishing ninth. They have spent a bit of money. They brought in Brian Mbemo for 71 million, Matthias Cunha from Wolves for 62.5 million, and Diego Leon from Cerro Porteño at 7 million, and that is a total spend of £36.8 million. So far, they released Christian Eriksen, Johnny Evans, Victor Lindelof. Harrison's gone to Shrewsbury on loan. Marcus Rashford's gone to Barcelona on loan. Vitek has gone to Bristol City on loan. Weatherly's gone to Northampton Town on loan. And Jack Morehouse has gone to Leyton Orient on loan. But, they are looking at bringing in Benjamin Sesko. Ridiculous money. £90 million bid of summer. They're in a bidding war with Newcastle. But is he worth that sort of money? If you're going by his numbers from last season, I'd say not. But he has got potential to be a superstar. And Manchester United clearly need an out-and-out striker. That was a problem last season, not scoring enough goals. So he can only help Manchester United and only playing one day a week in league, not having European football to contend with, can only help Amorim when it comes to training sessions and having more training sessions on pitch during as the season goes along. So without further ado, let's go to a team I think it's going to finish 10th. So without further ado, here we go. The team who I think is going to finish 10th is, of course, it's Tottenham Hotspur. The reason why we've got to finish in 10th is they had the worst season in their history in being in Premier League. They finished 17th. They were 12 points clear at drop, but still a club like Tottenham shouldn't be finishing 17th. Although they did win a Champions League, Europa League to qualify for Champions League, which is mad if you think about it. A team who finishes 17th in Premier League is going to be playing Champions League football this season. But even though, despite winning the Europa League, they still sacked Big Ange and brought in Thomas Franks from Brentford, who I think is a decent coach. I think Tottenham are going to finish 10th. The reason why I'm saying that is because it's going to be really difficult for them when they're playing Champions League on a Wednesday or a Tuesday, and then playing in Premier League the Saturday or the Sunday. So it's going to be a big ask for Tottenham, and Tottenham so far have brought in they signed Danzo after a loan spell. They brought in Lucas Vasquez for 9.5 million. Matthias Tell from Bayern Munich after his loan spell. They bought him for 29.9 million. They brought in a player called Taki here from front sale, £5 million, and of course, one of the big players they brought in, Mohamed Kudus for £55 million from West Ham, and Joel Polinia from Bayern Munich on loan. So Tottenham has spent a combined of £123 million. That's not including the loan fee for Linia. So it's Tottenham. They're spending a bit of money. I think the fans want a bit more quality brought in, and all fans of every club want more signings, don't they? So that's who I've got to finish 10th. So let's go on to who I've got to finish 11th, shall we? Fulham, I've got finishing 11th. Fulham are a weird team, aren't they? Really, the clubs in really that ambitious if you think about it, because they are always around mid-table, aren't they? They had a good start to the season, a good middle to the season, and then it drops off come end of season. They currently finished last season in 11th place actually, yeah, same as what I've got finishing this season. They brought in Benjamin Lacombe from multiplayer on an undisclosed fee. So they haven't really spent a lot of money. They've released Carlos Vinicius, Willian, Luca Ashby Hammond, Callum Osmond, and Stephen Bender's gone out on loan to Millwall. So they don't spend an awful lot, don't Fulham, but they don't seem to be selling any of the best players either. So I think they'll finish around mid-table, personally. Right. Without further ado, let's go on to who I think is going to finish 12th. Yeah, so 12th I've got Nottingham Forest. They had a good season last season. But they finished. I think they finished. Let's have a look. They finished 7th. They were 1 point off of 5th. What would have guaranteed Champions League. So I know this faltered a bit at the end of last season, but Nottingham Forest, who almost got relegated the season before, can say that they had a really good season. But this season, I do think they're going to struggle a little bit. They sold Anthony Elanga to Newcastle for 55 million. They did bring in some players. They brought in Ndoye from Bologna for 34 million. Igor Jesus from Botafogo for 10 million. They brought in some undisclosed fee players in Sheikh Yaya and Gia Cunha from that Botafogo, and they also brought in goalkeeper Angus Gunn from Norwich on a free. So, like I says, they let Elanga go for 55 million. They released Harry Toffolo. They sold Jack Perkins to Northampton for an undisclosed fee. Sold Andrew Otunwengi from Strasbourg for an undisclosed fee. Tyler Binden to Sheffield United out on loan. Roman Sosa to Palmeiras for an undisclosed fee. Ben Perry to Colchester, undisclosed fee. Lewis O'Brien went to Wrexham for an undisclosed fee, and Matt Turner went to Lyon for 6.5 million. So that's the two of it. That's 12 taken care of. Let's see who we've got finishing 13th. Team we've got finishing 13th is Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace are a funny club, aren't they? Unfortunately, they thought they qualified for Europa League, but unfortunately, it didn't happen for them. Unfortunately, because the owner runs a club in Europe as well, so they couldn't have two teams entering Europe. So unfortunately, they've been banned from playing in that cup, which I think is a bit mad. But that's it. The rules are there, I guess, and everyone knows that you can't have two clubs you can't own two clubs playing in same European competition. So 30th place, that's right. So let's talk a bit about Crystal Palace. They're a team we were happy just to beat Premier League You know, they are both the club hasn't got major ambitions of getting going. You know, finishing in European Champions League places, qualifying places, or all like that. But they don't seem to be in trouble of getting relegated. Now, so far, they've only paid 3 million in transfer window for Bora Solsa from Ajax, who were 3 million, and they brought in a free player in Walter Benitez from BSV Eindhoven on a free. Players to let go is Rob Holding. He went to Colorado Rapids for free. Joe Ward got released. Jeffrey Slope went to Norwich on a free. Um, Louis Mondan got released. Owen Goodman went to Huddersfield on loan. Joe Whitworth has gone to Exeter on loan. Danny Impri has gone to Blackburn on loan. David Ozzy has gone to Derby on loan. And Malcolm Eberwini has gone to Blackpool for an undisclosed fee. So that's who I think is going to finish 13th this season, guys. So without further ado, let's go on to the team who I think is going to finish fourth. Yeah, I've gone for Everton to finish 14th. They've spent some money this. To be fair to them, they've actually brought in some decent players. The man Alcaraz, after his loan spell, a permanent from Flamengo for 12 million. Thiago Barry from Villarreal, 27 million. Mark Travis for 4 million from Bournemouth. Azoe from Bayern Munich, 10 million. And latest I think it came out yesterday. Kieran Gisbury Hall from they've bought him in for 29 million pound. So they've spent a bit of money. They're going to be playing in a new stadium. It's going to be difficult first season at new stadium to get used to it, and hopefully, the buzz and stuff. And with David Moyes being in dugouts for him, I think he's going to do okay for Everton. You know what I mean? I don't think he's going to push for Europe or out, but I think for the first season they'll finish about 14th. I can't wait to see what the new stadium looks like. It's going to be, by docs. It's going to look really, really good when it's on TV and stuff. So I can't wait for that. So, without further ado, guys, let's go on to who I think is going to finish fifth. Now, this might shock a lot of people, but Lee had this team in relegation zone, but I think this team is going to finish about 15th, and that's West Ham. Yeah, look, great. I'm not a big fan of Graham Potter's tactics, but and I do think he's been stealing a living as a coach, to be honest, and he's lived off his Osterstrand days. But I don't think, I think they'll finish 15th. I know they sold kudos to a big rival club of theirs, and the fans weren't happy about it. But they've made the Tadibo loan a permanent from Nice on 35 million. I don't think the fans are too happy about that. I don't think he's worth 35 million. I've seen him now a few times and he looks terrible. El Hadji Malik Diouf. Now, this is an exciting player, by the way. The crosses he can put into a box. I think players like Bowen and, if Souček's up there, in box, we know what Souček can do inside a box. I think they need to bring another striker. You can't rely on Fulwood being fit for the season, and you certainly can't rely on Callum Wilson being fit for the season, can you? So getting back to, I've digressed, so let's come back. Daniel Cummins brought him from Celtic on a free. Kyle Walker-Peters from Southampton, that was on a free. They're also now looking at Josh Brownell on a free, who played for Burnley, of course. He'll improve him a little bit, but not a lot. But that's why I think West Ham will finish in and around 15th place. So let's go on to the team who I think is going to finish 16th, shall we? Right, scrap that idea. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go from 20th to 16th. and we're going to go backwards. So these are the teams who I think are going to be in and around the relegation places. So without further ado, I think Burnley are going to finish rock bottom on 20th. I know it sounds mad. After buying Kyle Walker from Man City at 5 million, Luum Chishukua at Lazio for 12 million, Alex Transabi from Ipswich on a free, Hartman from Feyenoord, that's undisclosed, Bashar Humphrey from Chelsea at 10 million, Jadon Anthony from Bournemouth at 8 million, Marcus Edwards from Sporting at 8.5 million, Zane Fleming from Millwall at 7 million, Max Weiss is 4.2 million. They brought in Larson from Stuttgart, undisclosed, and Leslie Ojuwenchi from Chelsea, undisclosed. So they have bought a fair few players in of Burnley. So I believe they are trying to you know to stay in league. I mean, this is excluding the undisclosed players. They've spent 42.4 million so far. That's excluding the undisclosed. So despite all this, I do think they'll finish 20th in the table. So without further ado, let's go into 19th. Who I think is going to finish 19th? Now, this is a team that I think I might be even wrong when I say that they're going to finish 19th, and that's Sunderland. You know, they let Jude Bellingham go at the start of the window. I was shocked that Jude Bellingham didn't want to give himself a season in Premier League to test himself, but they let him go. They sold him pretty early in transfer window. So, but they have brought in some decent players. Let's start with they've brought in Robin Roos from Nigerman for 11.5 million. Telby from Club Brugge at 19 million. Mandova from Atletico Madrid on a free. Sadiki from Union St. Gilles for 17.5 million. Enzo Lefried from Roma at 20 million. Habib Diarra, I remember he's trying to go for him from Strasbourg at 30 million. Adingia from Brighton at 20.5 million. And the latest player they brought in, who I think is going to be an excellent addition to Sunderland. This is where I think I might have gone a bit wrong here with table predictions, and that's Granit Xhaka, Bayern Leverkusen, ex-Arsenal player, 17.3 million. I think he's going to bring a bit of stability to the centre of midfield. He's a solid player, likes going in for the tackle. I've got he'll be booked a lot of times for Xhaka because sort of player he is. But he wears his heart on his sleeve and he'll give everything to Sunderland's cause. So I've got him 19th, but it wouldn't put it past me if they did get finished a little bit higher than that in the table. So without further ado, guys, let me go into who I think is going to finish in the final relegation place in 18th. Now, this may come as a shock to you guys, but the final team I've got getting relegated on 18th is Brentford. I think Brentford are in a bit of trouble here. They've sold him Remo. They've let him go. They've no longer got Thomas Franks as their manager. They've got a set piece coach who's their manager now. Is it Keith Andrews or something, whatever he's called? I think they're going to struggle, Brentford. I really do, and that's why I've got them in 18th place. So, unfortunately, Brentford, I think you're going to really struggle this season. And you know, let's just have a quick look at who they've brought in. Come on, Brentford, where are you? Where are you, Brentford? Where are you? 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 I've gone too far. I've gone too far. No. Let me just. I've gone too far. They've brought in Michael Coyote from Florentina for 40 million. Donovan from Birmingham and undisclosed. Um, Kellier, who I think is a really good keeper from Liverpool at 18 million. Milibamo from Feyenoord at 18.5 million. They've got brought in Jordan Henderson. I think it's gonna be a big figure in dressing room. I think it's there to to help the team along, and I think it's a good signing. But he's a bit old now, and he's a bit past it, shall we say? But the players have let go with Mbemo to Man United at 71 million, Christian Nogard to Arsenal at 15 million, Mark Flecken, goalkeeper for 11 million. They've released Ben Mee and they've let Tony Yoga go out to Dundee on loan. So sorry, Brentford fans, I think this season you're going to get relegated, unfortunately. So without further ado, let's see the two who I think can just finish above relegation places in 17. And I promise that I aren't being unbiased when I say this. I promise you, I've tried to do it as serious as I can. But the team who I think is going to just avoid a drop this season is Leeds United. I think Leeds United have made some really, really good signings. I'd like to see more Premier League experienced players brought in, as the only Premier League experienced player we brought in is Longstaff from Newcastle. And the other play, we've gone for a mixture of physical players. In Anton Stack, we brought him in from Hoffenheim for 17.4 million. Sebastian Boraveo from Wolfsburg at 5.1 million. The striker Lucas Nketiah from Wolfsburg on a free. The reason why we've got him on a free is because of he's got an injury. He's got a bit of an injury record as Lucas Nketiah from Wolfsburg. So we're gonna have to see how he goes. And Jacob Bajol from Udinese for 15 million. And the player we brought in early in that transfer window were players like um, Gabriel Goodmanson from Lille for 10 million. I think he's going to be at the set piece play. He's going to be on set piece duty for Leeds. Of course, Sean Longstaff for 12 million from Newcastle and Lucas Perry from Lyon for 15.6 million. So the players who we've released is Joshua Gulavingi. He got released. Joe Snowden's gone to Swindon on a free. Ginny Firpo, who I wanted to stay, but has gone to Real Betis. Max Verber, he's gone out to Werder Bremen on a loan deal. So they're the players Leeds United have released. But I do think they're going to finish 17th. I think this is a season where we break, where the three who go down come up, and the automatically three who go down. So that's what I think personally. Anyway, let me know what you think in comments. If you think Leeds will finish 17th, or will they get relegated? It'd be interesting to hear what you've got to say. Right, the team who I've got in 16th is Wolves. Look, they've let some of their best players go, guys. So they've let Kuna go to Man United for 62.5 million. Ryan Outnori to Man City for 36 million. They released Nelson Semenyo. Tommy Doyle's gone to Birmingham on loan. GRG has gone to Rangers on loan. Babaka Traore's gone to Mentz on loan. Sarabi has gone to Al Harabi. Craig Dawson got released. Campbell has gone to Stevenage for free. And Chicorino has gone to Alvareco on a free, on an undisclosed story. So the players are brought in is Fer Lopez from Celta, 21.3 million. And they made Jurgen Strand-Larsen a permanent signing on an undisclosed fee from Celta Vigo. Joe Arrayas from Cremonese for 15 million. And David Muller-Wolf from AZ Alkmaar for 10 million. I think they've got a decent manager, but because he's lost some of his better players, I think he's going to struggle and finish 16th this season. Right, so that's so basically we've gone from ninth, we've covered ninth to 20th. So now we need to cover from eighth upwards. So let's, without further ado, let's get into who I think's going to finish in eighth place, guys. Now, despite them losing a few key players, I've got Bournemouth in eighth place. I think Ariola's a really good coach. Despite them losing Kerkez to Liverpool for 40 million and Dean Hodgson to Real Madrid for 50 million, I still think they're going to have a decent enough season. They brought in that Petrovic keeper from Chelsea at 25 million. L Junior Robbie from Lorient, and Adrian Tuffet from Rennes at 14.4 million. But as we said, they've lost out. They've lost Kirkes, Hoylson, Jaden Anthony. He went to Burnley for 10 million. Mark Travers went to Everton for 4 million. Daniel Jefferson has gone to Preston on loan. Max Aarons has gone to Rangers on loan, and Joe Ruffell has gone to Rangers for an undisclosed fee. So that's who I've got finishing eighth. So without further ado, guys, let's go into who we've got finishing seventh. I've gone for Newcastle to finish seventh. Yes, there's a big the big transfer news story is all evolving around Isaac. If Newcastle gets Sesko, I think Isaac will go to Liverpool. But at the moment, at this current moment in time, they've still got Isaac. But I do think he's going to end up leaving the club and going to Liverpool. I do. He clearly wants to go. His head's been turned. And I think that'll be a big blow to Newcastle Champions League qualifications for next season. I know they're in Champions League this season, so that's why I've got them finishing seventh. So the players have brought in Italanga from Nottingham Forest for 55 million. Colorado from Malinga on a free, and goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale from Southampton on a loan. The players have let go is Lloyd Kelly at Juventus for 20 million. They released Jamal Lewis. Callum Wilson's gone to West Ham on the free. Sean Longstaff's gone to Leeds for £12 million. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Newcastle and Isaac / Benjamin Sesko. Is he going to go to Man United or is he going to go to Newcastle? I think despite what happens, if Newcastle signs Sesko, I don't think he's anywhere near as good as what Isaac is. But we'll have to wait and see what happens in transfer window. I'm sure Newcastle will be hoping that the fans will be hoping that Isaac stays. But I personally think he's going to end up going. So that's where I've got to finish in seventh. Right, so without further ado, guys and girls, let's go to who I think we're going to finish sixth. The team we've got in sixth place is, of course, Brighton. I think Brighton, despite them who they sell, they seem to bring in good players. I mean, Brighton so far, unless any business got done early, have spent £68.9 million so far. So they have spent a bit of money. They brought in Maxime de Copier from Club Brugge at 17.3. Olivier Biscari from PSV Eindhoven on a free. Diego Coppolenga from Hellas Verona for 9 million. Tom Watson from Sunderland at 10 million. And Young from Dijon. Hannah Citizen for an undisclosed fee. Costelios from Olympiacos at 31.4 million. Remin from Anderlecht Frankfurt at 725,000. No doubt that player from Frankfurt will end up going for about 60 million in a couple of seasons. We all know what how good Brighton are at bringing in players. They let Evan Ferguson go to Roma on loan. Simon Adringa go to Sunderland for 20.5 million. Joe Pedro went to Chelsea for 60 million. Pervez Esteparian has gone to AC Milan for 17.4 million. Beadle's gone to Birmingham on loan. Barker's gone to Strasbourg for an undisclosed fee. Audit Afia has gone to Preston for 1.5 million. Osman has gone to Azure on loan. Mark Omane has gone to Reading on loan. Armenio Cousin Dubry has gone to Bolton on loan. Skirpen has gone to Union St. Gillies for an undisclosed fee. Ariel Cashin has gone to Birmingham on loan, and Karamine Doyle has gone to Reading on loan. So that's a team who I think is going to finish sixth, guys. Let us know in the comments if you think they can finish sixth, or do you think they're going to struggle a bit this season with losing some of the better players. It'd be interesting to get your thoughts. Right, so the team who I've got finishing fifth, guys, is Aston Villa. Might be a bit ambitious when I said this with Aston Villa finishing fifth. But I do think Henry, they missed out narrowly by losing to Man United in final game of last season on Champions League. So I think Emery will be trying to push this season for Champions League, but they went all out last season, bringing in like some Marcus Rashford and stuff, and it's cost them. And the gamble didn't pay off. But they have brought in a Yassine Oskan from Casapiazza for an undisclosed free. Redmond from Feyenoord, he were a free signing. Marco Bizet from Brest, undisclosed fee. And Mudaka Sisa from Ellis last for an undisclosed fee. They have let Sisa go to Lesk on loan. Enzo Beracchini go to Benfica on loan. Alton's been released. Rico Richards has gone to Port Vale for an undisclosed fee. Josh Feeney's gone to Huddersfield on loan. Keen Kessa Hayden has gone to Coventry for 3.5 million. Philip Coutinho has gone to Vasque de Garama for an undisclosed fee. Courtney Horse has been released. Aviozic has gone to Raku Krasno on loan. Nedovic has gone to RB Leipzig on loan, and Louis Barry has gone to Sheffield United on loan. So that's who I've got finishing fifth, guys. Let us know if you agree, disagree. Be interested to get your thoughts as always. So the team who we've got finishing fourth, guys. Now, before I do announce it from fourth to first, I think this is going to be the most exciting Premier League season we've had for competition of Women's Premier League in quite some time. Now, the teams who I've got as fourth, third, second, and winners. It could be in any order, really, couldn't it? It's really hard to call. But Chelsea have got the taste for winning success now after winning Europa Conference League and of course the FIFA Club World Cup. So they've got that taste of winning success, and of course that is Chelsea, who I've got to finish fourth. Now, so far, I mean, without the undisclosed fees, they've spent £170.8 million. So they've gone big this summer. But Chelsea do this every summer, don't they? They seem to bring in some decent players. But this time, I think what they've done is they've brought in a lot of players who are going to be fit enough to walk straight into first team. They brought in Jermaine Gittins from Dortmund for 51.5 million. Joel Pedro from Brighton for 60 million. Liam Delap from Ipswich at 30 million. Watched him at Club World Cup. He's going to be some player, is that Liam Delap. There's no doubt about it. Gerald Heto from Ajax at 38.5 million. They brought in Estevar William from Palmeiras for 29 million. Esugo from Sporting for 18.5 million. Mohamed Sarr from RC Strasbourg, 12 million. And Kennedy Perez from International Devel for 17.3 million. They've sold Pedric to Bournemouth for 25 million. They've let Kennedy Perez go out to Strasbourg on loan. Bashir Humphreys gone to Burnley for an undisclosed fee. Marcus Benetti has gone to Man City for an undisclosed fee. Kepa has gone to Arsenal for 5 million. Aramango's gone to Strasbourg for an undisclosed fee. Zach Sturridge gone to Millwall for an undisclosed fee. Noah Madueke has gone to Arsenal for 52 million. Keller Wiley has gone to Watford on loan. Mark Pinders has gone to RB Strasbourg on loan. Joel Felix has been sold to As Nasir for 43.7 million. Samuel Smith has gone to Strasbourg. Kieran Gisbiol's been sold recently to Everton for 29 million. And Leslie Okawencha has gone to Burnley for an undisclosed fee. So look, there's no if Chelsea finished second or third, it wouldn't shock me. But I've got them finishing fourth. Let us know if you agree or disagree, guys. It'll be interesting to get your thoughts. So without further ado, guys, let's go to how it's going to finish. This may come up as a shock for you guys, but I've gone for Man City to finish third. Yeah, they've brought, there's no doubt Pep Guardiola's going to want Manchester City to win the league, and he's going to go for it. And they spent some decent money of Man City so far. So without the undisclosed fees so far, they spent £150.7 million. They brought in Tijem Rinders from AC Milan at 46.3 million, Ryan Outnori from Wolves at 36 million, Marcus Benetti from Chelsea an undisclosed fee, Ryan Cherky from Lyon at 34 million, Empam from Rosberg, 12.5 million, and James Trafford. I think it's going to be a really good keeper, by the way, for 31 million pound. The players who have let go, Kevin De Bruyne, he's been released to Napoli. He's going to be a big miss to Manchester City. Jacob Wright to Norwich undisclosed. Scott Carter has been released. Cal Walker gone to Burnley for 5 million. I think that's good business for Burnley. I think they brought in a quality experienced player for 5 million. Mbemba's gone to Stoke City on loan. Perong's gone to Como on loan, and Simpson Pusley has gone to Celtic on loan. So that's who I've got finishing third, guys. But I do think, he's going to really, really push to win this league. He's Pep Guardiola. There's no doubt about it. So without further ado, guys, this is who I think's going to finish runners up in the Premier. Now this is a big shock, and a lot of this could change very quickly. The team I've got finishing runners up this season is Liverpool. If they get Isaac, I think they'll win league. But I say, as it stands right now, I think Liverpool are going to finish second. They've made some really good signings. They brought in Kirkes from Bournemouth for 40 million, Florian Wirtz from Bayern Leverkusen for 116 million, Jermaine Frimpong from Bayer Leverkusen for 29.5 million, Majiashvili from Valencia at 29 million, Hugo Ekitike from Frankfurt at 79 million, Amrin Preski from Prusques Svada from 1.5 million. They've brought in Freddie Woodman from Preston on a free as well. The players that let go is Trent Alexander-Arnold, Kelly to Brentford, Joel Quinter to Bayern Leverkusen for 35 million, which is good business. Luis Diaz has got to Bayern Munich for 65 million. Tyler Morton's got to Liverpool, who were heavily linked with West Ham, but he's chose to go to Lyon for 15 million. Nat Phillips has gone to West Brom for 3 million. Gerrard has gone to Ajax on loan. Owen Beck's gone to Derby on loan. But if they do bring in Isaac, that changes everything. It really does. So I don't need you to work out who I've got finishing first, but without further ado, guys, let's go into who I think it's going to win. And that, of course, is Arsenal. I think, look, Mikel Arteta will be under a lot of pressure. He has to win something this season. He's got no choice. He's so far he's brought in Kepa from Chelsea as a 5 million as a backup goalkeeper. He's brought in Martin Zubimendi from Real Sociedad for 51 million. Christian Nogat from Brentford for 15 million. Madueke from Chelsea at 52 million. Mosquera from Valencia at 30 million, and the biggest signing is Victor Gyökeres from Sporting Lisbon at 63.5 million. They've brought in their out-and-out striker who they've been missing for the last 3 seasons, ever since, I believe, Aubameyang left. I think it's their first recognised striker who's an actual out and out goal scorer. So that's why I think Arsenal are going to win the league at the moment. So the players to let go with Jorginho to Flamengo on the free, Kieran Tierney to Chelsea on the free, Nuno Tavares to Lazio for 4.3 million, Marquinhos to Cruzeiro for undisclosed fee. Tomiyasu got released, Thomas Partey, but I'm not going to even talk about him. But yes, so that's why I think Arsenal's going to win the league. Mikel Arteta is going to be under so much pressure. Though. He has to deliver silverware to Arsenal this season, whether that's Premier League or Champions League. He has to deliver. Otherwise, I think this might be his last season if we don't. But if Liverpool get Isaac, Liverpool win title. They do. They do. I'm sorry to say that, but at this moment in time, as it stands on the 7th of August, 3:20 a.m. That's what I think is going to happen in the league. Anyway, so sorry we're a long video, guys, but I wanted to do something a bit special for league because I haven't done an awful lot lately. I haven't had time, truth be told. Shirley's getting a bit older now. My granddaughter who lives with us, she's getting a bit of an handful. To be honest, she's a typical. She's coming up to 2-year-old, and she's a typical 2-year-old into everything, anything and everything. She likes turning my bloody sockets off. I tell you. She goes under my desk. I got one of them rising desks, so so she couldn't reach out on top. But what I've done is to let her go underneath the desk to turn my sockets off, so I can't win. But I won't have it any other way. I love having it with her. So me, I've moved the granddaughter Delilah over weekends. So yeah, but so sorry, I've been doing an awful lot, guys. It's not like it's not like I've give up or out. It's just it's the time. It's the time now. You know what I mean? Because I don't have to say this, but when I was younger, when I had my kids at 19, 20-year-old, and unfortunately, back in them days, I was an alcoholic. Touchwood ain't had a drinking 25 years, 25, 24 year now, 23 year. But I did, I were oblivious to seeing my kids grow up. But now I appreciate my wife a lot more because I see what she does and I see how hard it is with just one. We had 5 of them running around back in there, back when I were younger. But it's just finding time, guys. It really is. It's so. I don't watch hardly any YouTube anymore now. To truth be told, but season starts. I'm looking forward to that. I do watch the games. Believe we do sit down and watch them. We've watched all pre-season friendlies so far. I think we've looked stronger in them as well. Leeds. Been watching a few of the Man United games over in America and stuff with West Ham and Bournemouth and Everton. But it's couldn't yet. The truth is, the predictions I've picked, I could be totally wrong, guys. You know what I mean? It's going to be a really exciting season this season in the Premier League, that is for sure. And I'm glad Leeds United are back there. Where a club of the stature size we've got, we should be back there as well. Anyway, I'm sorry for rambling on. Sorry it's lasted nearly an hour, but I did want to do something a bit special for him. Hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. Really do. Thank you for watching ever so much. And getting some comments and Lee likes reading your comments. Let him know if I've done a good job or a bad job. And am I worth keeping or does he need to sack me? Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you very much for watching this edition of Disabled Lee Stapleton TV. Until next time, guys, have a great day. Look after yourselves. See you all soon. Bye bye.